In this video, we're going to be comparing two of the most popular budget-friendly digital night vision binoculars on the market. The NVG10, which has dominated the low end of the digital night vision setups for the past year, and the Prowl, which is the first ever digital night vision binocular from Nightfox, and it's received a lot of great feedback so far, so it'll be really interesting to see how they stack up. We'll be taking a look at these devices, comparing their specs and features, and testing them out side by side at night to show you everything they are capable of and highlight their pros and cons to help you decide which one of these setups might be best for those of you looking to get into low-end but highly capable digital night vision. There will be links down in the description below in case you want to pick up either the NVG10 or the Prowl and to help support my channel. And for full disclosure, I do sell the NVG10 on my website Goodnight Gear, but this video was requested by a subscriber and I will give you completely unbiased feedback about the performance of these devices to help you guys get a better idea on their strengths and weaknesses. And I'm also in talks with Nightfox about stocking the Prowl on my website too, but for now there's just an affiliated link. Alright, so we'll start off with a side-by-side view of these two devices, and on the left we've got the NVG10, and on the right we've got the Prowl. They're both very comparable in price, and at the time of making this video, you can pick up the NVG10 for $297 from Goodnight Gear using the coupon code US10, and the Prowl is available on Amazon for about $250. They're both nearly identical in weight, despite the Prowl being a somewhat bulkier monocular, and they both give you the ability to manually adjust the focus. They each run off of 18650 batteries and can be changed in the field. However, battery changes are much simpler with the NVG10 because all you need to do is just unscrew the battery cap and pop in a new one. And with the Prowl, you'll need to use a screwdriver to take the battery in and out, which is much less convenient. Where the Prowl does excel is onboard USB-C charging, and with the NVG10 you'll need to rely on a dedicated external charger, which does come included in the package. You can record video on each of these devices, and video recording on the NVG10 can be done via Wi-Fi and screen recording on a connected smartphone, but it's not the most convenient setup and the apps can be somewhat glitchy. But the nice thing about the Prowl is that it does have onboard video recording capability, and you do get a memory card included as well. So overall, it is going to be easier for you to record and transfer video with the Prowl. With regards to waterproof ratings, the Prowl has a decent IP54 rating, and the NVG10 is slightly better at IP66. And overall, my impression is that the build quality is slightly favorable on the NVG10. Hands-free options for both of these devices are pretty comparable in the box, and the Nightfox Prowl does come with a headband style mount, which you can use to make the device hands-free, and it also looks like you can pick up a bridge to run dual Prowls, and there might even be a fast mount compatible option as well. The NVG10 comes with a mount which you can use to connect it to fast compatible helmets, which are available on Goodnight Gear, and there are also bridges and headband style mounts available as well. Now we're going to take a look at some video from each of these devices to give you a better idea of how their performance compares. Both of these devices will have their IR illuminators turn on midway, but they are overlapping, so it will give you a pretty good idea of the effect that it might have when one of them is fully turned on. And even though both of these devices do have digital zoom, we will just be keeping them at their default 1x view. There's really no difference in latency or lag in the devices, and both of them are quite good, and the main difference in video quality we're witnessing here is due to the extra hoops that you have to jump through to get the NVG10 to record video, and the Prowl is much more straightforward. But when we're looking through the lens of the devices, the performance and the picture you'll see will be significantly better than what you see here, especially with the NVG10. The field of view is much wider on the Nightfox Prowl, and this is nice because it's going to be easier for you to see more of your up-close surroundings at once, and this is going to be a pretty significant advantage if you're primarily planning on using this device either indoors or for other more close quarter type situations. The field of view on the NVG10 is smaller, so it's not going to be as convenient or quick for you to navigate or scan in an environment like this one. When using these devices, I was pretty satisfied with the focus adjustments of the Nightfox Prowl, and I only really needed to adjust it once. But with the NVG10, you might need to make more of an adjustment between close and mid-range depending on your needs, and I was lazy about making focus adjustments during the video, which is why some of the shots on the NVG10 might appear to be more blurry, but typically I just run with a more mid-range focus and I'm less concerned if my close-up surroundings are slightly out of focus. We do start to notice the advantages and disadvantages of the field of view on both of these devices as we shift towards a more mid-range setting. Again, the Nightfox Prowl is pretty nice and you can see a larger area, and it does make it easier for you to spot things and get a better idea of your surroundings. But as we move past 30 meters or so, the advantage in performance definitely shifts towards the NVG10, as the clarity is far better. At the moment, we're walking right about 45 meters, and my wife and I are basically invisible to the prowl, and as we keep walking further away, the NVG10 does continue to do a reasonably good job at keeping both of us in the picture, and when we finally stopped at about 85 meters away, it is still able to detect our movements. Down at the harbor, when we scan out to several hundred meters, the performance of the NVG10 continues to excel, and it does seem to do a much better job of picking up the light from the IR illuminators and displaying more contrast, which does give it a huge advantage in these types of settings. The other big difference I notice here is that the performance in ambient lighting is much better with the NVG10 than with the Nightfox Prowl. With the NVG10, the sensor is able to do a relatively good job of providing a lot of detail even in the presence of external light sources, while the presence of external light sources does create a bit of a challenge for the Nightfox Prowl, and much of the surrounding light does become washed out, and this effect was quite noticeable both at short and mid-range distances. If you plan on using either of these devices in the presence of ambient lighting, this is definitely something to keep in mind. Hopefully this video was helpful for those of you looking at digital night vision devices and maybe you're stuck between these two monoculars or you're looking at something else, but I have tested out a bunch of different entry-level digital night vision devices, and the NVG10 has been the favorite of these devices for me so far, but I was really impressed by the Prowl for the price and would definitely recommend it to anybody looking to get into an entry-level setup with close quarters use cases in mind. Let me know what your thoughts are on these two devices down in the comments, and again, the links are in the description, which you can use to help support my channel.